Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Last time, we were stuck for a while with the investigation, but we finally called our own witness, and today we are gonna be questioning him and probably maybe pointing a finger or two at him. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Thank you for the hydrate, Meteor. How are you doing? I don't remember if we ever called our own witness before, so I am pretty excited about this. So, so let's get started. Tired but alright. I can relate. I am tired but alright as well. Why am I doing this with a mouse? Oops. Okay. February 24, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Why are we here a minute early? The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lena Sky. I feel like my voice is barely coming out. Okay. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. He's drinking in court. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh my god. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Even Marshall is hydrating. Yeah. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Wait. So Edgeworth all this time could have said the name of the witness himself instead of telling them to introduce themselves? Why is he doing this now? Why not push him to say his own name like he did with everybody else? What happened to the controller? Seriously already? Oh, great. Why does it do this? Okay. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You are in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Is this correct? Is it correct? I am very confused with what Meekins was assigned on that day. Because he also claimed to be assigned to guard the evidence room. But then he's like, no, I wasn't actually. I was assigned to guard the mascot. According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. The judge is losing his patience with him already. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. I don't know if I want old English. That is not plain at all. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchid. What is a bone orchid? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyways. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Is he feigning ignorance? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room is so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. No idea what that means. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I would erase the tape. Okay. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. I feel that's a very short period to do that. Each time I would erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that it ain't my style. What does he mean by making rounds? It's not like he is actually patrolling. He's supposed to be right outside the room guarding it, right? Or does he just check on it 3 times a day? And if so, how do you go through six hours of footage so quickly to decide they're to be erased? No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. If that's funny coming from a cop. No desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. Maybe by rounds he means to actually physically go inside 3 times a day? I don't know. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyways. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. It is relevant because if he knows about it, he knows how to disable it too. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel Steak lunches can beat that Parlo's Vangol Sepia pasta? Vangole? Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want a raise this year?" Just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante. Okay. We need to present something at some point, but what? Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime serial murder. Sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Is that a coincidence or are they related? Trial data. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lena Skye, Emma Skye. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lena Skye. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Okay. I don't remember where we found his fingerprint. Was it on this? Oh yeah, it actually says it's there. Marshall fingerprint. So let's go to the one that says he's never been in there. Which one is it? I need to decipher his words. Maybe here, maybe here. Let's save. No, that didn't work. Do I need to do it after I press? I don't remember if they let me present during a press. Yeah, they don't allow me to present. Maybe here. I present the ammo, right? Yes, it worked. Officer Marshall. Sorry, doing my job isn't my style. It's not an acceptable defense. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind you at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm not the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. Once a month he does his job. It's only natural my fingerprints should be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed